that, dude. It's always that. When I open my YouTube, it always pops up. First one that comes up, though, royalty-free music is what we're doing. Hey, everybody. Welcome back to the With Phillip Garcia show. This is my guest, Parker. Parker, I'm blinking on your... Why can't I remember your last name?
Kilgo.
Is it Kilgo or Kilgore?
Kilgo. Kilgo.
Okay.
There's a bunch of Kilgores, but...
That makes sense.
Not me.
Okay. Parker Kilgo.
Yes, sir.
You're in my phone as Kilgore.
Really?
Yeah. I feel bad now.
Well, it happens.
Do you feel...
No, I'm not. I'm not too offended by it.
It's okay.
But
well, I mean, I wasn't far off.
you were spot on. Essentially, just not. I mean, it would be like if I spelled Phillip with one or two L's. Like,
right.
I'm gonna be honest. I don't know if it's one or two L's. So
it's two.
Well, I'm very offended. I have it as one L in my phone. So
I try so hard to run an organized show. Like in my mind,
yeah.
Every single time I'm like, we're gonna knock it out of the park this week. That's exactly what my thought is. And then I start the podcast and I'm like, you forgot your guest's name for about 2 seconds.
Well, you know, and
that's what this podcast is, though. That's what I think. I'm maxed out here.
I think it's great, and again, I was the same thing. I had Phillip with one L in my phone, so I guess it's we could both be offended. It was just a disaster. But I was honestly impressed by the whole setup. As I said, I was like, wow, being a producer and a superstar, it's very hard to do.
Yeah, superstar. Remember that one?
Looking
Dude, I should be using.
Discover.
What am I doing right now? This
Get
is
the safest
whole
music.
podcast. Everyone loves this podcast. People comment on this podcast. They say, "This is great content." This is what this comment said right here. It said, "Great content. Keep it up."
Yeah,
I believe it.
I believe it as well.
I think what people do is they come to this. They come to my podcast, Parker Kilgo, and they know me, so they kind of know what basically to expect.
They know what they're getting.
Right. I think some people come to the podcast. They say, "Hey man, Phillip Garcia may have grown up a little bit. Maybe he's got his shit together a little bit more. Maybe he was always funny then. Maybe he's still funny now." And they expect something that's special.
And this is special, and I'm here right now, and this is special.
Exactly.
So
Because
they get what they asked for.
Because I'm special. And I'm here with my special guest today, Parker Kilgo, everybody. Welcome back to the With Phillip Garcia show. Good friend of mine. Got to meet him as soon as I moved down here to Austin. How do we met because you saw me on Kill Tony, right? Live?
Yes, I saw you. Well, I saw you live on Kill Tony. I saw you on the YouTube of Kill Tony.
Right.
Thought you were fucking hilarious. But I think the one... So I saw you were on like 3 times, I think, before we actually met. And the last time that you were on was like the 500 episode.
Something, yeah.
And like it was the one at the Paramount, and like it was like a pretty big deal. And like I remember it because it was Rogan, and like you and Rogan talked for like, I mean, you were going back and forth with them for a pretty decent amount of time because
2-3 minutes. It felt really good.
Right, yeah, and I remember that. I remember that. I was like, wow. And so I was walking into one of Red Band's secret shows, and you were walking in. I was like, holy shit! Like I saw you on Kill Tony, like fucking hilarious. And then I got absolutely blasted, and
yeah, you did, man.
We kicked it for a little bit, but
not too blasted enough to get my number. And then you said you hit me up, hang out sometime. I was also new. I didn't have any like connect to any good CBD or anything like that. So it was. I was like, oh sweet, I finally made a friend. And then you were like, hit me up to go on the boat.
Yeah,
that was a dope night, man.
that was a dope night. I mean, we need to do that a lot more. But
y'all said that's not very common that it's like that, no? Or do y'all usually go out there at 2 a.m. like that?
It's not like it's not like an everyday thing. But I think personally, like it's like my favorite time to go out. Like because dude, when we remember when we went
it's
out,
illegal as fuck though, right?
No, it's legal. It's illegal to surf,
and that makes complete sense
because you can't see shit. But like the boats that the boat my boat, you can see it's made for night surfing, dude. Like there's lights and everything on it, but you knew when we were out there, like that was the best time to be out there.
It was glass, and I should have tried it, man, because I've never done anything like that, and that was the perfect time to try it. But also, I'm such like a weird 45-year-old father at heart that my mind, even like a little bit stony and a little bit drunk, I was like, there's a reason this is probably illegal.
Well, yeah, and there definitely is.
If someone goes under, you're just like, fuck me.
Well, yeah, there is, but
And I was the least athletic person there, so I was like, I'm the one to go under.
Yeah. Well, I'm not even talking like the surfing was good and like everything, but like just like when you remember like being in the water, it felt like we were swimming in like a just a big pool. Like it was like the water was just like
it was almost eerie.
It was still, and
Yeah.
like we were like the only people out there, and like the it was just great. And so like, yeah, but that was some good times. And obviously when it's not fucking ball sack cold here, then we
need to do that again for
get
sure.
back out. Yeah, definitely.
That's a beautiful lake and beautiful area to like be at. What's it called again?
That's Lake Travis.
Lake Travis.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Have you been out to Lake Austin yet?
Yeah, I met I've been out to Lake Austin, and then my aunt has a lake house out on LBJ.
Oh yeah, that's a good
and that
one
one's that's an amazing lake too.
Yeah.
Pretty choppy though. I rode a jet ski out there for the first time.
It's
in my
really
life,
like
and it was
small and like shallow, so it gets really choppy.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's just dope that like y'all got y'all got the as comics the opportunity to come to Austin, like, and shit opened up here where it was like,
yeah, man, we talk about it every episode. What's crazy is that people say it opened up here. And Austin was the last place in Texas to really open up, if you think about it. Like it's a liberal stronghold.
Like open up in like terms of like COVID and
in terms of COVID, it's crazy. I'm so happy it happened in my backyard. I talk about it every episode. It happened I was gonna move to New York or LA, ideally eventually.
God, that would have sucked so bad.
I mean, yeah. That's what most people would say.
But I guess if you're like, it probably. Like the people that are like in New York and stuff, they're like, I guess it's like the fucking.
You act like you wouldn't have a good time doing what you're starting to do in New York or LA. New York just legalized.
Well, and I guess a little bit of that is like what we're trying to do is a little bit of pot, but like really like the legalization has like no like sort of like say on like how our business does, because like,
is it technically tobacco affiliated?
Yeah, like so this is like.
Do you have to like pay tobacco taxes or anything like that?
No, we don't have to pay tobacco because we're not selling tobacco products. We're literally selling like accessories.
It's like art in a way.
Essentially, like we're not like selling it like art. Like we actually like we have like product like.
Let's go ahead and break it down. Where we were talking very ambiguously about it.
Well,
Parker.
Absolutely. So I don't know if it's in the shot or if you can see it, but
yeah, Parker is a new sponsor. His company, Joker, right? JOKR is. It should be in the shot.
I should take my hoodie off and put.
Man, Brand. I was gonna wear yours too, but I promised this company I'd also shout them out because they did me a favor.
This is just the big day for the Phillip.
This is definitely I'm not gonna lie. In the last couple weeks, the Phillip Garcia show has picked up a couple partners, I guess, and sponsors. Like so, This is we'll start with them because I want to finish with yours because yours is huge, dude. What you're doing is awesome.
Please start with them.
But it's just Travel Buddies. This is a brand called Another Great Escape. If you can't figure it out, what they're doing, it's pretty dope. These clothes are super soft. They sent me this one for free. Holler at me. I think it's just anothergreatescape.com if you want to order anything like this. It's super dope, super comfy. And in Austin, if you wear this hoodie, people give you handfuls of things.
Yeah, I bet. And I mean,
it
it's
happened
just
last night.
It's an actually dope original hoodie. Like Austin business, always support Austin business,
right?
Or any American business. Which, moving on to this is what
this one is dope.
Kind of speak of as well. But yeah, so me and my buddy, we were a little bit withdrawn from our universities when we started this. Idea, and so we kind of came up with this concept of a bong that you can take apart, put back together, and you'll never have every piece is always changing, so you're always getting the new pieces. You're always getting the new pieces. You're always getting the new percolators, the mouthpieces, the top parts, and then.
This is the dopest thing about these pieces. Also, it's stamped up there with his logo if you want to look at that. It says JOKR on there. It's pretty sweet. You can go to JOKR.com or is it JOKR Glass?
JOKRdesigns.com.
Right. I looked at y'all's website the other day. Y'all have this piece on there specifically, and then there are no replacement parts, but y'all are just starting out, right?
Yeah, well, so like the idea is that like all these parts are going to be able to be sold like individually, right? So like that's like when it starts like getting like even cheaper than like a glass piece. So like we start like these and like they're all like the reason we wanted to number them is because like we wanted to sell all of these and get like a base customers, like our base like customers, like 100 people.
Yeah, I'm really happy that I have one that says 58.
Yeah,
it feels special to have one of the first 100.
I mean, it's just
and
really,
Mama said smoking pot would never get me anywhere. Isn't that crazy?
Well, you know, I think like that,
she's one of the people who like probably watches the show for the longest retention rate. She's probably said that she's just.
No, yeah, I'm gonna post this on my Instagram too, so I'm gonna have a bunch of people seeing it.
I'll definitely get this part in there for sure.
Yeah.
What makes this different? Like I've seen, like you hear about like Stax pieces kind of have a similar concept, but what makes this one different again? You talked about it a little bit yesterday.
So like when you put these pieces together, and like we can do it again, like right now, like this is a full like piece.
I got you.
Yeah, it's a full piece. So like this is not like when you take a Stax bong and you really get behind it. It's a bunch of percolators that you can slide into each other. To where this is a full piece. Like when you
so the Stax is more of a gauge thing, like a downstem would be or something like that, as compared to this
like
is actually
Stax is full.
in.
And Stax is great. Like like we like I don't like Stax started what was able for like us to build like it was inspired by Stax, like everything that we do is inspired by Stax, but it's just different. And like so when you take
what's crazy is like you said yesterday, it's so easy to clean. So I didn't mean to cut you off.
No.
Well, I'll definitely demo that, but like without the downstem in there, it's a very, very clean piece. It's just the downstem that got dirty. Otherwise, because you're able to like when you rinse it out, you take it apart and it's you can violently shake the base.
Oh
and basically get it off with just simple water, which I thought was super dope. You don't even need rubbing alcohol.
Yeah, and I mean everything that like we kind of thought of, and like my business partner Santiago Delgado, God bless the kid.
What a name!
Have
I met him?
I don't.
I would remember.
So.
If I met someone named
I think you would
Santiago.
probably remember. He's an absolute character.
I gotta meet this guy
as well.
so I can write a joke about him because this guy sounds like he's just not like in a bad way. But
No. He's the absolute man, and he's a genius as well when it comes to engineering. So he was able to like kind of just make everything like have a purpose for all the designs, and like everything's sort of combining into one piece, and it's flowing.
So it's not just one big gimmick.
It's not just one big gimmick. So like, you have this bowl, like obviously you have every bowl, but like.
Pretty dope bowl.
Just one hitter bowl. It's not the craziest thing on the planet. But really what it also...
It's basically a whole ass chillum, man.
It is. It is that you can smoke out of the bong, which is nice.
Captures most of it.
Yeah, and like for people when like they're smoking, like obviously like these pieces aren't cheap, and we'll get into like the reason they're not like really like that cheap pieces, but like when you're smoking like in California or whatever, people smoke the $70 eighths or whatever. Like they have that in the stores. Like you like would like to smoke it out of a nice piece where you taste all the terpenes, all the flavors, and then you also can like smoke different strains out of different bowls, and you're not just like packing these big bowls and like you're actually tasting it. Like this for like taste tests.
It's very
like,
smooth.
Yeah.
I mean, I have a really nice just straight shooter upstairs. Very nice from like Aqua Glass or whatever the hell it is. I don't even know. But this one trumps that immediately. I mean, it's because it's mostly probably this. I'm not going to lie to you, I took this part off the other day and hit it as a straight shooter, and it was nuts.
Yeah, so it's really hard. It's a big shot when it's like when you take the honeycomb perks off. But
did you want to demo it like you did the other day? When you were showing its stability, or do you want to?
I mean,
I don't know if you want to do that.
Like, you can just like.
It's very
I don't
sturdy.
I don't want to like pour the water everywhere.
Right.
Like you're not gonna. You can take this like a baseball bat. Like we were gonna do it like for one of our advertisements. We were gonna do a thing where like someone
swinging them.
No, well, someone literally pitched me a baseball and I just smacked it with a baseball, and like the bottom part would break, and I'll just screw on another bottom and just smoke out of it and be like, yeah,
that's
like,
pretty
fuck
dope.
It. Like who cares? Like
that's a great advertisement.
just like shit like that. Like
we're gonna go back to the other camera.
Go for it. But yeah, man, and like, oh my god, I extended my legs a little too far.
You're probably good, dude. I mean, it's okay. Like half the audio is just audio, anyways. So and it's not like anyone's gonna be like, dude,
fucking camera, yeah. Okay. But so what I was saying is like, and the price gets to be more expensive because this is it's American glass, and like a lot of companies that make like these really cool pieces, then like the name brand companies, like they're making their glass in China, and it costs the same as the American glass, but it's not like it's not the same quality, and it's like being made in a sweatshop in China. And
Right.
so they're marking it up to the same prices, but they're not getting it. They're not getting the quality that you think you would be paying for.
Exactly.
But
you're saying that this, like you said, blown in Colorado. No.
So yeah, these are blown in Colorado, and then like this is blown in Wisconsin. But the company we use is they're from Colorado, and like we went and toured. Like they make some of the wildest.
Did you just hear that?
Yeah, that was like a
Loud brake screech.
Yeah. I mean,
and I just heard someone fucking scream after that too.
Yeah.
Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you.
No, I that was.
You know what's crazy? Not my fucking business.
No, it's
until someone knocks on that door.
I was gonna say, this is some East Austin sounds usually. Like
actually, that's the first. Oh, maybe it was a TV
music or some shit.
Anyways, you were saying this. So the Wisconsin in the middle, and this is the Colorado.
Yeah, but it's just all American, and it's all like we're not like getting. Like I don't want to like name any like obviously companies, but
sure.
It's almost every single one of them. Like, and it's just because they have the ability to. It's just like, why would Microsoft manufacture chips in America when they could do it at 300% like less cost in China? And it's just like realistically, like, yeah, there's these companies and they're American companies, but like, and people just like don't even really recognize like they're I got like this XYZ brand, it's fire. Like I got like it was like $150 or whatever, but like yeah, well it cost them $29.99 to import, and they bought 20,000 of them, and so that's how
much are you selling these for?
These are going to be $315. So this whole setup's going to be $315, and then when it breaks down, it's going to break down to be like this part will be $100, this part will be like $50. So these two parts, like the actual just beaker itself is like $150, and then like this is like an actually this part is.
It's pretty complicated.
It's an expensive. It's an expensive piece, yeah. Just because it's a really intricate piece, and it's never ever been made before.
And it's and I'm sure if things go successful, you end up like a huge glass company. Prices, of course, go down with production. I mean, that's when you upscale. Right. Yeah, and like But right now, like you said, there's just like you're importing like basically the best stuff from inside the United States. Yeah, like when we like. Do you smoke out of yours? Do you every day? Basically?
Every day I smoke. I smoke out of mine every day.
What are you smoking out of if it's not this?
If it's not this, it's probably a joint. I like joints, I think, the most, to be honest. Not the most out of like the glass. Like, I smoke the bong the most. Because I think it saves the most. Like it's the most practical for like saving weed. Like you're not like just like running through like crazy amounts of pot all day just smoking joints. For me, it's just like you're loadable and
Last time I went over to your place, your new place, I think I saw yours was on your kitchen island.
Yeah. Probably. Well, I think actually when you went over to my new place, we didn't even have a couch yet. Like
y'all did.
Yeah, we had nothing. Yeah, so
you said y'all were just basically playing F1 Formula racing all day.
Yeah,
that's what y'all were doing, and then going downtown.
Yeah.
I was like, hey, dude, me too. I think that's it. That's all I'm basically. I'm playing NHL 94 with another 25-year-old man in a one-bedroom apartment, smoking Schmeed and fucking.
That apartment.
It was nuts.
That is a wild situation, man. Like
absolute fun house.
I mean, I'm sure you talked about it an absolute shitload on here.
We talked about how I do miss the energy for the podcast. I do feel like the chaotic energy there did supplement the podcast well, but I also do enjoy that I'm also very much in control of what's going on. Like, not that I wasn't there, but it's just there's too many cooks. In a way, dude, I'm not complaining, but it's too many cooks.
Trust me, I get it. I get it. I've lived in multiple houses like that, and while they are, the energy is fun sometimes. It just gets to be like when you leave, you're just like, what a relief.
Yeah, dude. I was a grown man with no bedroom door for almost 8-10 months almost.
Dude, when I lived
8 months.
I lived in this house on West Campus, so like on UT campus, like, and I mean it was like the house location was spectacular, but the house itself was I mean there was one night we killed 9 rats.
What?
And,
where was this at?
This is in West Campus. On UT campus, like, and it was this house. I mean, dude, it was like literally it was the house next door to Cain and Abel's. It was like best location. And it was the single dirtiest house on the planet. We killed 9 rats one night, and like my buddy had a room where like if you wanted to walk to my room to get into my room, you had to walk through his room, and like it's just like shit like that, man. It's just like those houses where people are just always coming in and out. There's like always people sleeping on the couches and shit and like getting fucked up, and it's just nice to kind of dial it back.
I did the same thing when I was in school, man. It was a nightmare. I lived in a 4-bedroom apartment with like 9 people.
Yeah. This one wasn't even like, we each had our own bedroom, which was nice, but it was just like the constant like chaos of like everything. Like when I was in Oxford, and when I went to school in Mississippi, I definitely did that whole shebang, living on a couch, because we had to live in the dorm rooms. But that was a whole nother Oxford.
Dude, I was an RA for a couple years.
Yeah, you told me about that. It wasn't. Did you say it was kind of lit though? I don't know how much
I've talked about it on the podcast, but yeah, it was. I mean, no, it was just like a chronicled like a story, dude. It was just like every week, it was just like another week of just like living, because at a certain point you wake up in college. For most people, you know, like you take your first acid hit, or you just start to realize you didn't think about football the right way. You didn't know that it was like a chess game, and you just thought that you were supposed to just hit the guy in front of you, and you didn't know that you played a larger role. Like you didn't know why you were dropping back 3 steps. You just knew you were dropping back 3 steps, right?
Yeah.
And then one day you wake up and you're like, oh my God, Madden is not just you pick the play that seems most fun. You pick the coverage that matches the fucking setup, off like the wide receiver setup. You know,
is this an analogy?
This is literal. This is when I woke up. I was like,
you
one
were
of the first
playing
things
Madden.
I wasn't thinking about things and like
you were just only playing. So you were only playing Madden.
No, not only playing Madden. I'm just like using this as like one example.
Okay,
I guess so. It is kind of
so
it's a grand analogy.
Okay.
Yeah, man. I don't remember where I was going with that. I don't. I was talking about being an RA.
Yeah.
And how like basically it was every week you're just like, what the? I'm waking up at the same time that I'm like in charge of people the same age as me and like 2 years younger, and they're just doing the stupidest shit like you could ever even imagine.
You went to Sam Houston State, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm trying to remember if I told this story last week, but there was a guy who I'll never forget this guy. He was walking. I was in a meeting with my resident hall director. I don't want to retell the story if I've already told it. I'll tell another story. But I don't know if I've told that one either. One time I watched a guy, they were out in the little, it was a square building, right? Fucking dipshits, baseball players are playing baseball in the square.
Like what? Like just like
they take out a window, bro. They like line
they're
drove
like actually
one.
like playing like they
like full blown baseball.
The Sam Houston State baseball players?
Yeah.
They just
are
like
playing like
up?
Other people in the dorm. Yeah. No, they weren't fucked up. They were just being stupid. I was in charge of the baseball players, or not the baseball players. I was in charge of the kids that were going to school for free. So a lot of these people had no idea how to live, bro. Like this was the first time they ever had their own bed and door and bathroom. Like a lot of them were just like living, like thinking they're living large.
That's funny. I like couldn't even like. So how many years were you an RA for?
I think a year and a half or 2. I don't.
And did you get paid for that?
Yeah, you got a biweekly stipend and you got free housing.
Okay, yeah. So that's like it's just like, so the dorms were like a prevalent life part of your college life.
Pretty much, man.
Because like freshman year you probably lived in one, right?
But I feel like I have more memories from, like, I had a lot of good times then, but I had more memories after I stopped working for the campus.
Oh, I'm sure.
And started going out, and like junior and senior year is when I was really, I lived out in the woods for a couple months and intermittently went into my buddy's house to shower and stuff, and then I would saving up and working at Walmart. I lost like 60 pounds in 3 months.
Just
because I was working in the meat department at Walmart, shivering my ass off and hucking beef. That's what I always tell people.
Just hucking beef.
Fucking hucking beef. 80-pound boxes of brisket, 40-pound boxes of brisket, ground beef boxes. Just fucking getting in there, getting shredded. And then I moved into a tiny house and lived there. I told someone today it was so hard, like when I would pick a girl up and try to bring her home from the bar.
Yeah, that could be
it's a tiny house, but it was also 30 minutes like into the woods.
Yeah, that's tough, man.
Yeah, you gotta be like, hey man, you want? Or hey man,
you gotta be. You gotta.
Hey girl, you want to go back to my place? She's like, yeah, baby, sure. And then you're like, it's 30 minutes outside of town. She's like, that's fine. I'm drunk. I don't care anyway. I'm like, I'm drunk too.
She's sober as fuck by the time she gets there. She's like, where the fuck did you take me? Oh
neither
my
one
God.
of us should be going to my place right now.
Yeah, dude, and also in the woods, like that's Huntsville. It's fucking the prisons over there.
It's such a drinking culture. Like it's like I don't know. There was a couple of times I drove back to that place probably a little too much than I should have. But also, there's no one on the road with you, so it's like if you kill yourself, you kill yourself. I guess.
Yeah, that's good. But I mean, again, like the Huntsville, the prisons there. So like there could be some other fucking
fuck them.
Well, they'll fuck you they'll fuck you if they get the chance. Like.
There's a bunch of state troopers in that town that just fucking love to pull over kids for speeding and write you the ticket no matter what you're doing. I'm like, I'm delivering pizza after hours, dude. Like, come on. I'm trying to get back so we can close the store. He's like, I don't care. Going 5 over.
Dude.
On a highway.
You don't even understand, man. Fucking Oxford, Mississippi. They so there was, first of all, in 2014, there was a 60 Minutes written on there's a 60 Minutes written on the university because like they would like take kids and have them like rat on each other, and like they were doing it, and it was like because like these kids would be getting caught with like one Xanax bar, like they'd be getting caught with like a gram of pot, like they'd be getting caught
trafficking narcotics.
Yeah, and so like then they would go and have them rat, and so like it was like going on for years, and then one kid like ratted on an actual real drug dealer and just got fucking killed, and like they
Coming to you live from Oxford, Mississippi today. What was it, Ole Miss, right?
Yeah, it was Ole Miss. Yeah, dude.
The young, the brave, the frats, the sororities here in Oxford, Mississippi.
Really?
Justice
was served until some kid got absolutely clapped by like a real drug dealer, and then they were like,
that's scary.
We're really sorry about it. It just went wrong and sideways.
Apparently that happened at SMU too, and now like once a month, these people, like a bunch of parents pitch in basically for these people to come down and sell weed. So,
what?
Yeah, so that like all the kids at SMU can have a safe place to buy weed. And
what?
Yeah, this goes down. I'm probably speaking too much about it, but I'm not going to say anything else other than that. Other than like that's what happened. So now like that's how like
I'm surprised I've never heard about
dude,
this.
SMU and TCU are some of the most just like gluten-free schools you could ever go to, dude.
Yeah, my sister goes to TCU.
She gluten-free?
No, but actually she might be. Yeah.
She's probably going through that phase right now.
Yeah.
Do you have celiac? Is that the same thing, right? Celiac is what? Yeah. If you have celiac, you're gluten.
What the fuck? What is celiac?
Let's look it up. That's why we got a fucking thing.
That's why you're a producer. That's why you're like.
I'm the puppet master.
Yeah.
There he goes. Help me spell that out.
The disease.
What are the 3 symptoms of celiac? What is it? Celiac disease is a serious autoimmune disease that occurs in genetically predisposed people where indigestion of gluten leads to damage in the small intestine.
What kind of damage are we talking though? Like, because apparently, like, if you're gluten free,
it's pretty bad, man. Like sometimes it can. I remember that people would say like, diarrhea, fatigue, weight loss, bloating, bloody stool. Like, you don't want any of that.
Nah, dude. Like, I was like, my friend would be like, nah, just like I have like I get the shits when I like eat gluten. I was like, all right, well, like eat some bread then.
It says one of the symptoms right here is that you might just want attention because you're not. You don't have any skills or talents and you're not attractive. Yeah, that's what it says right here. It's one of the symptoms.
That's what I jumped to the end.
Yeah. Wow, that's crazy. So if you have celiac disease, you might just be making it up.
Yeah. Yeah.
My tummy hurts. My tummy hurts too. Have you eaten anything lately?
Yeah.
Anything. Even bag lettuce from the store. I'm scared of. I'm terrified. I'm terrified of everything but peanut butter. What if that was my thing?
That would.
Yeah, you don't go eat out with Phil. He brings a bottle of Jif and just fucking a spoon. He's got 3 spoons on him.
Yeah. That's good.
What are you allergic to, dude?
I'm allergic to penicillin.
Really?
Yeah.
I'm allergic to sulfa.
What's that?
Like kind of the same thing, I think.
Really?
I think they're both
Dude,
antibiotics.
I got strep throat like a fucking 10-year-old before I went on this ski trip, and my sister, of course, TCU
year,
gave it to me. Thank you, Kelsey. And the doctor was like, "Are you allergic to any medications?" And I was like, "Yeah, I'm allergic to penicillin." And he was like, "Oh, really? Like, are you sure?" And I was like, "Yeah." And he was like, "How allergic are you to penicillin?" And I was like, pretty fucking allergic. Like, I don't know. Like, I was told not to take it ever when I was a child." He's like, "Oh, that's a real bummer. Like, most of these medications are penicillin based." And I was like, "Dude, like, is there not one medication you can give me that's like gonna help me out for a strep throat?"
Sulfa, apparently. So I can take your drugs. You can take mine that I'm not allowed to take.
Is this for fucking?
Yeah, look, it says any member of the group. So sulfa drug, also called sulfonamide. Sulfonamide? I don't know. I'm not a fucking doctor. Any member of the group of synthetic antibiotics containing the sulfonamide molecular structure. Sulfa drug were the first chemical substances systematically used to treat and prevent bacterial infections in humans. And then down here it says amoxicillin belongs to a class of drugs called penicillins. It is a penicillin type antibiotic, and it does not have any sulfa in it. So like there's penicillin antibiotics and sulfa antibiotics. I imagine that's kind of how it works. I know there's no doctors watching this podcast, so I'm not even worried about being right about it.
Well, be careful before Neil Young starts saying he's going to take his music off YouTube and shit. Because
keep on rocking in the free world. I was going to pull him up on Spotify, but oh wait.
No.
You can't.
R.I.P., man.
Isn't that crazy?
That's just such a bummer. Apparently,
just to think that I got into Harvest Moon over the pandemic, and then he did that.
Oh, did they not take it off yet?
I don't know. I don't want to play it.
His fucking stream numbers are garbage.
Well, he's old.
well,
these aren't his anymore. See, like this is.
Oh, they took everything off. Oh, okay, gotcha. Well,
I don't know, dude. That's crazy.
I mean, there was clearly someone looked at the numbers and was like, "Yeah."
Well, everyone knows that COVID is a hoax.
Well,
and
obviously.
Shenyun is the billboards are back, so the pandemic is over.
Yeah, the pandemic's been over since like June of 2020.
That's how I feel. That makes sense, but my clear, like, I knew it was going to be over when I started seeing Shenyun billboards again. I was like, they're back.
Is that Chinese cult?
They're traveling again. Yeah.
Dude, you're like the fourth person that's brought that up to me. That's like, yo, we have to, like, you have to go see this, like, thing. Like,
why do we have to go see it? You know what? This is actually perfect.
Yeah, you should look it up.
A reason to use the green screen. This is what we're going to do. We're going to look up fucking shit. Here we go again. I love to. Fucking stupid.
No, apparently they're, I want to know a little bit more about this whole shebang.
Propagandistic roots. What? All right, let's see what they got.
Before communism,
China
had a glorious past. What if
this is what we needed
back?
Before communism, China had a glorious past. What if we could bring it back?
I mean, is this real?
Yeah, sure. Yeah, this is real. But with that amount of like they said, propagandistic. What is that the word? Is that propagandistic? I don't know. But
I'm confused though because they said like right now China is a fucking communist country. So
it
like
was a thriving. So I'm starting to think like, is this a government issued, like United States government issued,
like being like fuck China or something
basically.
Like that?
Yeah, this is how we program them. What's up, Connor? You're good, man. Good to see you, dude.
What's up,
The
man?
roommate just got home.
No, you're good.
These mics won't pick you up unless you, like, they can't even hear you right now.
Yeah. No, yeah. And we're really just covering some serious stuff over here, as you can tell. So, like, yeah, we're
getting into it.
Yeah.
This is what the description says. Before communism, China had a glorious past. Here at Shenyun, we strive to present traditional Chinese culture as it once was, a study in grace, wisdom, and the virtues distilled in the 5 millennia of Chinese civilization. Come and experience China before communism. I nailed that ad read.
Yeah, that was fantastic, actually.
Thank you.
You should go tell them, they're in Austin, you should go be like, hey, I can rip this for you. Yeah, like we can do some radio, some AM, 590 AM ads, wherever Rush Limbaugh used to go on it.
This is
That's
great.
his audience,
How
probably.
will I be able to?
Since 2006,
You think I'll be able
Shen
to,
Yun has been reviving the essence of Chinese civilization.
Wow.
Deeply rooted. in
That just
ancient
seems racist,
values
dude.
Like compassion,
There's some-
honesty, and
Look-
faith.
Was that a white dude? It does look kind of cool. So your friends
Yet
saw it.
decades of
Multiple
destruction
people have seen this and been like,
Deceit.
like, this is, like, have been like, it's so wild, you
and
have to go see
violence
it.
have nearly destroyed a nation's values,
Jesus.
along with its own identity.
Are we
Is this on the
dancing?
green screen?
So how
Is this what
do
they
you
mean? When
revive
you want to dance?
what has
Yeah,
been
I know.
lost in today's
know,
China?
dude.
In today's China. Dude, we're really going to get into this for another 2 minutes.
At
for
the
these-
core
Is it playing
of
on the green
Shenyang
screen?
It will.
is an
Oh, that's
ancient art
hilarious.
form,
I'll put it on.
classical Chinese dance.
So
Is that a dude?
you stretch enough, you can break communism's roots. That's what I'm
Literally.
getting from this right now.
Holy shit.
It's very graceful. I will not lie. It's very.
I mean,
Kudos.
no
Classical
doubt
Here we
his
go.
performance would be sick.
Movement.
But when they start telling
begins with the
everyone
heart.
to go kill the white people, then I don't know what.
I don't think that's their message. I think their
This
message
characteristic makes
they want-
classical Chinese dance
They're like,
richly expressive
we.
and
I
unparalleled
don't even know
in
what they're-
storytelling.
I mean, could you imagine living in a country that's openly having a genocide, and then just like no one's doing a thing about it? So you're just like
Shenyun's original music
dance, so that
blends
they don't,
East
so that you
and
have
West.
something to do.
Yeah, I mean, if we'll go back.
and we preserve
Go back.
tradition.
Yeah.
If I was living in a country in a genocide,
Right.
yeah, go back to like right there. It's perfect. But I would be having all of my bitches.
Shenyun's
I'd be having all the
original
bitches
music
play whatever the
blends
fuck these
East
bitches
and
are
West.
playing. Look at that shit. Did you see that?
Yeah.
Did you see the way they were
We
twiddling those
preserve
fingers?
Traditional techniques
Imagine
throughout
what they
our
could do.
production. Our artists follow the principles of truth, compassion, and tolerance.
Really.
This brings a greater depth to our art.
You think they're all
Every year,
struggling? Like, you think
Shenyun
they're all like,
premieres
just like,
a
God damn it,
completely new
I can't wait
production
till the
with
15th
new
so I can
stories,
fucking
new
get some
costumes,
groceries.
Dude,
New
I
music
don't know what's
and
like
new
the
choreography.
like.
They're like, we all suffered under communism, but just so you know,
Like, are these all like are these American Chinese people or are these Chinese? Like,
I
what
would
is the shit?
so it's like you know
Can we
what?
go to the website? Can we
Well,
see the-
let's look up what I mean. I from what I heard, it's like it's not a cult. It's a movement. So like these people, this is what they do. They travel around and they use their dance as a form of propaganda, and then that's how they shed the message of
Yeah.
a China that used to be great. So it's literally like it's like an Irish gypsy
s-
kind of thing.
So are they trying to like? But so if China was obviously trying to spread propaganda, like,
right.
wouldn't they wouldn't they want to like say that communism is good now?
No. I don't think because I don't think they're like they're not Chinese. I'm pretty sure China probably wants them dead. That would make the most sense.
Oh,
right?
so this is propaganda against China, saying like,
Yeah.
look how good China used to be.
right. That communism is
Oh.
toxic.
Oh, well, that's a good message.
Yeah. What do you think? You think there's anything else in here we really need to see?
No, I mean it looks great.
Mission greater than us all.
I could have done a
Join
better job
us
than him in
to
this ad.
reclaim the beauty, wisdom,
Wow.
humor, and drama
Yeah,
of
I mean-
5,000 years.
Well, I'll tell you what. Here at the With Phillip Garcia show, we don't discriminate any kind of art, and we'd be more than happy to receive free tickets to Shenyun. I'll take a box suite. I'll bring everyone I know, all 8 of them.
I mean, yeah, you should reach out and be like, hey, I would like to bring a heap of comics. I would like to bring a crew of them.
Oh
and
my
between
God.
between y'all, you could probably be like, we have
I
like
could not imagine the
100,000
amount of racism that would take place. Do you know how racist comics are?
Yeah, but do you know how many good jokes would be
Like,
made?
I'm sure I might
Imagine
get hung for telling
what
you
if-
this, but like you could already imagine like what we say on stage we get away with when we're in agreement or we're in
Yeah,
confidence.
no,
what
I-
you hear people say sometimes, you're just
Yeah.
like, oh my
No,
god,
yeah.
it's nuts, dude. I love it though. Don't get me wrong. I've said some terrible things.
It's it's just because it's fun and it's funny. But racism is not fun. But
No, but you know what is fun? Accents.
yes, accents are fun, and like yeah. No, I'll be honest. I was
You're representing a company here, Parker.
I know, so I'm gonna make sure that I don't do anything that ridiculous anymore. So we're gonna.
You didn't say anything bad.
I
I'm
didn't
sorry.
say anything bad.
I didn't. I wasn't purposely. If that felt
No,
like I was
wasn't.
trying to purposely
it wasn't.
bait you.
No,
I
it wasn't. It wasn't. And this is good.
Here you go. Now let's go ahead and look up. Let's talk about your views on Israel Palestine.
I'm down. Let's do it.
I'm joking. I don't know yet. I wanted to go to MSN real quick though. I'd like to do a little scroll of the news segment and riff.
I
off
love
that.
it. Oh, yeah, I love it.
The United Emirates intercepts ballistic missile during Israeli president's visit.
Dude, some shit is going down.
That's pretty scary.
I mean, dude, those countries just have so much fucking money. It's ridiculous. Like,
You think that's what they're doing? You think they're just having war games
they're
for
just
fun?
fucking doing it just because they have nothing else to do with their money. Like, how are the equities looking?
Equities? Looking pretty good.
Actually, looking
That
pretty
was-
damn. That's pretty good if that's the way it opens
if I could
tomorrow.
Get some percentages. That'd be even better.
That would be great. I'm just super large.
Dow's up 564. Nasdaq's up 417, which is honestly
Great.
that's crazy.
That's great. Yeah.
S&P's up $100. Can't complain. Which is crazy because is that typical with wartime? Does the stock market usually go up? You're seeing gas start to go down again. You're
no.
seeing
well,
it's
this
crazy.
is just a terrible time for the economy. I'm not an expert by any means, but I know that there's some shit.
Inflation is not real.
Right, because we have NFTs and crypto, so that's why you should, if you're a smart investor, put all your money into Bored Ape Yacht Club.
Here we go. Let's see if we can
Or-
find any.
or
It's
apes in
55
space.
degrees here in Austin, Texas, on this beautiful evening where CBD is legal,
CBD is legal. Delta 8 is legal for the time being.
and it's gonna.
HHC is the new big thing. Speaking of which, shout out to the HHC. If you're looking for an alternative less than 0.3% smoking alternative, will include a euphoric sensation, check out some HHC anywhere.
Hell yeah! Is it like a Delta 8 type of thing, or
It is the new version of Delta 8, yes, and it gets you ripped, actually. I actually have a cartridge in my car.
Try that. Dude.
Yeah. From
Did
a
you
little.
hear about this? Mark Cuban opening the pharmaceutical supply chain.
Yeah, that's interesting. I mean,
Is it, or did Walmart do it forever ago, and it's currently available at plate grocers all over the United States?
So I'm just confused. He's just opening another pharmacy? Like, that's like, is it an online pharmacy? What is he like?
He's cutting out a middleman.
Like, so he's just gonna make the drugs himself?
Yeah, but that's what grocers have been doing for years. It's almost just like this look at me kind of
Nah, Walmart doesn't make their own drugs.
thing. They don't. Well, I mean, they don't make
No.
their own fucking chemicals.
No, they don't even make their own drugs. Like, they have to get that from that's like.
They have a pharmacist in there.
Yeah, but the pharmacist isn't in there cooking up drugs. They're they're not just in the
Walter White, that
pot cooking with a kettle, but I mean, when you go and get a prescription of OxyContin, they're not just out there pressing the pills in the back of Walmart. The
Right.
people come in and give you the OxyContin and from the companies, and not that OxyContin is the drug, but I'm saying with any sort of drug,
Right.
you know.
I've never been I never really had pills at my. I never really been looking for it. It was never really my thing. I've also seen it break a couple of good people. So I don't know.
Pills are tough, man. Pills are really tough. Yeah.
What's crazy is they're the most legal.
Yeah, they are.
Let's see. No, go ahead. Sorry.
No, I mean that's just an interesting that's a topic that I can riff on for days, but they're so illegal. They're so legal, but now they're so illegal that the counter reaction is just devastating to. It's more people are dying from fentanyl counterfeit pills with fentanyl in them than actual dying from taking too many
There was a seizure in San Antonio a couple weeks back where they seized
oh yeah,
it was
a million. It was a million fentanyl pills.
Right.
Yeah, and that's the thing is like you just like if and like I don't know. I feel like maybe it's really like kids that are younger than us that are doing like they're getting like those pills because I mean if I just couldn't.
I just don't even know why it's being cut into the mix. I mean, I guess people are diluting it properly and it's being effective there, but it's just honestly, I mean, how sad is that consumers of drugs are so misled because of how much we set everyone up to fail dramatically in terms of being a consumer of recreational drugs, that they're willing to take something that they're told is fucking Xanax, but at the end of the day, they're taking a microscopic dose of fucking fentanyl and building an opioid dependency without even knowing it. And then the next thing you know, they're taking more and more fucking Xanax bars who are probably cut with a little bit of Xanax. It's fucking nuts,
it's
dude.
a disaster, dude. It's an absolute disaster.
So they're building benzapine and a fucking fentanyl dependency at the same time.
No, dude, it sucks. And like the thing is like the counter reaction, like they're just I don't know. It's like we're too far deep at that point. But
100%, man. I've seen it. I mean. They have to look at addiction apparently as it's a sickness. Yeah, like it's something that you can't really help, which is crazy to me because it seems like the only thing to help addiction is willpower, right? Yes. So I don't know who raised me, but I don't ever remember being you got to get tough or die, parenting being ever involved. You know what I mean? And I don't know where it came from.
What do you mean in terms of get tough or die?
Like I used to get picked up, wipe the dust off or wipe the mud off your shorts and get the fuck back out there. Played football and did all that shit. But my parents are both very empathetic and sympathetic people. They're like, my dad cried when he told me that I had to have surgery. I'm like, why are you crying? And I was like, do I have to cry? I'm going to cry right now. I'm not even sad about it, but I feel like, am I going to be sad about it? Am I going to die? And then he's like, no, you're not going to die. I was like, then why are we crying? Nothing was wrong, man. They scraped my colon. They were like, yeah, you got a bloody butt, dude. Quit wiping so hard. Do you ever wipe too hard? It's tough.
Yeah, it's a bummer.
It's hard.
You gotta get those dude wipe sponsorships, man.
That's honest. That's what okay. So if I could, this is what I already have so far is fucking amazing. Yeah. All I need now, dude wipes would be nice. Mm-hmm. I want Tushy. I want to change my life. I want to get rid of dude wipes. I want to do Tushy. Bidet.
Oh yeah. Dude.
And then a MeUndies.
Ooh. My aunt had a bidet, and it was one of like those ones. I think it was like the Tushy ones. Unbelievable. Right. I literally would just sit in there for minutes.
Right. Hey, I mean, if anyone else wants to sponsor this podcast, I mean, this thing is going places.
It's going places.
It probably is. I mean, I like to think. What's cool is that it's happening here in Austin. We're all in the mix. And
that's what I'm saying is like this, like you're in the mix with the crew that's next up. Like you're like y'all are the next up. Like it's very like
we're all fighting to be at least.
I mean, yeah, you see like you get up there and you murder like I don't know like Casey who was on last week.
Casey's a killer. Look, 162 views for Casey right now.
Yeah, like he.
And then 14 for Liz and Megan.
Who else have you had on?
Let's see. He's doing pretty. That's a really good viewership for that one, honestly. Yeah. 89 with Liz, 38 with Hans, which I'm surprised Hans has a pretty big following, so I'm surprised that one didn't do well.
So that's one that I would think that would have had a lot. Let's see, 98 with Jason Rodriguez. Is he still around?
Yeah, Jason's still around. He's working around town doing comedy.
I remember I saw him.
With Brittany gets 124.
Yeah.
She has her little fan base too. Yeah, man, it does a good time, and then you get the other listeners in there too, the audio only listeners. Yeah, which is good because I have enough like an estimated audience of weekly. It's like 50.
Nice.
So I mean, I'm pulling in at least 100 viewers every episode that are listening, and 50 that are listening audio. And the retention rate on audio is pretty good. So if you even if you made it 49 minutes into this episode and you hear this part, thank you so much already.
Are we 49 minutes into the
episode? Yeah, man, podcasting is a weird fucking thing.
Holy shit, that is wild.
That Hans Kim one was like an hour and a half, but we did his for like 3 hours prior. So it was like 5 hours, and then we did his the day before too. So it was
Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I mean
I just realized I never made a little thing for that one. Oh well, it's not important.
Yeah. Well, good shit. I mean, this is a fun. I mean, even though, like, I mean, these are this is a fun thing to do, though. Like, and this is getting views and you're getting seen and it's growing every time. Like you can see that, and so like I think it's awesome.
It's fun for me, man. I really do enjoy getting to be. And on top of that, this town there's so much hustle bustle energy in Austin right now that there's not much. The Texas goodbye is slowly fading in this town. You used to say goodbye for 30 minutes, and now it's like in Austin, you're like, I gotta go. I'm like, yeah, you gotta go.
Yeah,
so it's nice to be able to sit down with people that I'm getting to meet. Like, because I grew up where I'm from and did comedy. I had pre-installed friends and family all over the place that I didn't have to, we could sit in silence for 6 hours and not have to expect anything from another one. But now it's like I get to have these moments with people and we get to talk about who we are, which is neat.
Yeah.
I try not to dig onto, like, of course, don't bring up family life and shit like that on fucking video. It's not ever fun to do that, especially because some people just don't like to.
No, yeah, I mean...
So, but me, I'm an open book, dude. I'm so excited. I don't know. Again, if you're watching it this in, I'm pretty sure you also know that I do the garage shows. You know about those?
Yes.
My mom bought that house recently. She's an official homeowner, so we're gonna start running those again.
Congrats to her.
Yeah, dude. You got to get me like a banner or something. I'll hang it up at any show I produce.
Definitely. I would definitely do that.
I'll paint it for you.
Yeah.
Don't spend money on one of them fancy press printers.
No, yeah, we'll get you a bunch of honestly, and then. Yeah, I mean, dude, we got to get you paid somehow too, man. I mean,
we'll worry about that down the line. Right now,
we get all y'all comics paid. I mean, that's like another thing that I want to do, and of course now we're 50 minutes in, but it is like there's a lot of space to do some cool shit here. Like Aviator Nation is doing
that's
it
insane.
That they did that. That's if they can do it and really put on a show like that, then it really says anyone can do it. And
well, do you know they're running another Moon Tower festival here? They're gonna and then Just for Laughs is partnering with Moon Tower now, so that's gonna be Just for Laughs is gonna happen.
Oh, really?
They're gonna have a Just for Laughs South kind of thing, which is the hugest comedy festival in the world.
Yeah.
And that's gonna happen in Austin. So now we have Moon Tower and Just for Laughs Moon Tower.
Wow. I mean, it's just crazy, man. It's big and but just another thing is y'all are really when you talk about the comedy scene in Austin, obviously the Rogan and Tony Hinchcliffe and Sakura and all those people that came from the Comedy Store now, they have that or whatever, but it's y'all keep it going. There's the reasons that when Caroline, when my girlfriend went to y'all's show, she or I don't think she went to your show, but she went to a show that was at the Creek in the Cave that she knew nobody, and I'm pretty sure it was a bunch of people that I'm pretty sure that were just performing, and she's like, yeah, it was fucking
without a doubt.
It was fucking awesome, and it's just so it's just shit like that, and yeah, I mean, we just make sure that every because we want, as in Austin, I know that a bunch of people want this shit to keep going. We don't want we were all so excited when comedy got here. It's fans and shit. Not even
That's what people say. People say comedy was here before there, but they're
dude, it wasn't.
Well, the city's starting to understand and see it now. They're man, we're seeing a lot of people barking on the streets now about comedy shows. They're starting to be yeah, have you been downtown? There's always something asking if you want to go to a comedy show right now.
Yeah, I mean, that's brand new. Not brand new. I guess it's been around now for a year and a half or whatever, but yeah, that was not happening back in 2019. That there was just wasn't there, and I think people really appreciate that, and it's your colleagues that are keeping that alive for everyone. So
there's a lot of DIY shows. I'm currently keep talking about it. I'm trying to get a couple shows going myself, because you got to run a show. You got to have to offer someone back other than just your talent. So I'm trying to get that going, and I'm going to do that, and then hopefully have one or two shows in Austin. But it's tough, man. I got to find a way to I'm learning from other successful show producers right now, so that when I pull my trigger, I know what I'm firing.
Yeah, I mean, what? So, I guess, what do you
It's just a combination of online marketing, person to person, being a personal, going out and barking, doing the foot traffic, getting in the Facebook groups, really pushing, paying for the advertisements.
But so when you would do it, where would you do something? If you were to do it, where would you do it?
I like small shows, man. I like to do 50 to 60 person shows at most. I think that's where I have the most fun.
Yeah.
And then I've never done ticketed. I always did donation based shows, because I don't like to do.
Well, let's
Yeah.
talk about that, man. I mean, that's one thing we could talk about, dude. Is like
We can set it up through Eventbrite. You can even list you as a sponsor in Eventbrite.
That's what I'm saying. Is like we can even like I know. I mean, I know you know dozens of places, dozens of venues that we can get that done.
Yeah,
in,
I'm shopping
like,
too right around the corner right now.
Yeah, and I mean, like even somewhere like on
Not in East Austin.
yeah.
Where you hear fucking tires screeching and women shouting outside. What the fuck?
Yeah, well, we'll figure it out. I mean, but that's it. Yeah, that's some shit to definitely talk about, and that's easy to figure out for us logistically.
Well, hell yeah, man. I think that's a pretty good place to stop.
Yes, sir.
55 minutes.
55 minutes. Wow.
Parker Kilgo, everybody.
Thank you so much, Phillip.
No problem, man. Thank you. And
right.
Everyone, once again, check out Joker.
JOKRdesigns.com. Follow us on Instagram, JOKR Designs, and lots of updates coming in the next couple of weeks. So.
It's dope, literally.
Yes, sir.
All right.
All right.
Have a good one. Bye,
Thanks,
everybody.
man. Peace.